I never realised the fulfilment you get by selflessly giving to those in need until I experienced it. Hi, my name's Conan Visser. I'm the president and founder of I Can, I Will, which is a children's charity devoted to changing the lives of children with special needs by bridging the social gap for a better tomorrow. I met a boy in 2010 with special needs. Both of his parents were doctors and I was just a personal trainer at the time with a couple of private businesses. And his parents came to me as a last resort for help, and two doctors having the means to find support for their child. So they had the financial means but couldn't, and they went to someone who was inexperienced with anyone with special needs. I'd never dealt with anyone with special needs. The only exposure I had as a child was in grade 2 in Sydney, and to me they were in another corner of the school. We barely ever saw them. If anything, it was a bit alien to me. So Nolan was hiding behind his mother and couldn't look at me in the eyes, and they started to welter at the thought of a physical challenge. Just 3 years later, he gave a speech in front of his peers at graduation. He's now currently seeing his second girlfriend, not at the same time, but yeah, and he's also studying to be a personal trainer. So this is someone who couldn't look at anyone, shied away from meeting any new people, to now he's even I Can, I Will's first paid employee, and he sits out the front of each street talking to strangers, raising awareness about I Can, I Will. So he's made a complete backflip, and there wasn't anything special I did. I wasn't an authoritative figure. I was just someone he looked up to and he could relate to, who was of the age bracket wasn't that far, so more of a mentor figure. So I just believed in him so he could believe in himself, and I helped him overcome some small physical challenges to inspire his life is actually limitless in all facets. After I had the exposure to Nolan, and then through word of mouth, some other parents came to me looking for support for their child because they'd been told by a professional that the child wouldn't amount to a certain amount of things. And they didn't like that, obviously, and they thought that that was very limiting on their child and they wanted more. And I helped other children as well. And there was one child that told he would never run 80 metres and now competes in 100 and 200 metre races at school. I realised that there is a huge lack of support, but 95% of parents can't afford. So what I did is I realised that I could start an organisation and empower the younger generation to mentor children with special needs to bridge the social gap for a better tomorrow, because out of the 4+ million people living with special needs at the moment, over 80% of them don't feel like they can fit in, which is a direct result as to why more than 60% of our homeless have special needs. So if you don't feel like you can fit in at school, the likelihood when you leave school to think you could even be a part of society and even go to a job interview, let alone believe that you could obtain a job, would be, very unlikely. And sadly, a lot of children with special needs are coming out of lower socioeconomic areas, and because of those areas, they do become more of a burden on their parents once they leave school, and that's why a large percentage of our homeless have special needs. Imagine growing up your entire life being made to feel like an outcast, not being included in school. Even in lunchtime you were locked in a room. You never really had interaction with anyone, and then that, as you get older as an adult, you don't feel like you can fit in at all. And I had someone explain to me the other day, and they said that almost sounds like a form of being bullied by society without actually any words or any action being taken. It's just, you don't fit in and no one wants to let you fit in and no one will give you the time. The driving force and the philosophy is that we can make a difference just by believing in someone with special needs. Until you do it yourself, out of a desire to do it yourself, people don't understand it. And so in order to try and gain a movement and to try and get more people involved, it's a hard thing to do because you can't force someone to do it because they'll reject it and they don't understand it. From my biggest tip, and I suppose the biggest tip for anyone, is if you're chasing a dream or goal, is to find a mentor. Find someone who's done it. The number one tip that I read before I started mine was find out if someone else is doing what you're doing and join their cause, because it is so hard. We stopped counting the money that I've put into this about a year ago, and it's still, so it's not about the money. Don't go into it thinking it's about money because you would never do it. The passion, you need to be passionate about it or else you won't get up in the morning and do it.